yes, I slow it down. Can you tell yours if you want it? Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Nitty Gritty Podcast. We have someone here again today.
Guess who's back?
I've roped him into possibly doing this podcast with me. Rubber? Question mark?
I'll do another one.
So I first want to start off by addressing the elephant in the room. I look older.
Yeah, more wise.
I'm 26 because yesterday was my birthday. And you gave me probably one of the best birthdays I've had in a long time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, sorry, I don't mean to kick you and get dirt all over
come
you.
on,
These
those are
are
outdoor
my
Crocs.
I know these are my outdoor Crocs. Can you tell? They're a little wild.
A little cheetah
okay,
print.
I literally keep hitting you. I'm
Sorry, I have long legs.
Oh, but yesterday, what did I do? I ended up going to, I guess you could call it a spa, but I got my eyelashes tinted and curled, and then I got microderm abrasion. That was the first time I ever did that, and I absolutely loved it. My skin, glowing. Yeah, it looked like a lotioned baby's bottom. It was supple.
Wow, supple.
So earlier this week, I ended up going on Facebook Live, and I do that time to time when I want to sit there and talk about topics. But this week was about Ozempic and weight loss surgeries, because everyone has heard of the word Ozempic.
I feel like I've seen it on a commercial or walking around in the mall, and there's you want to lose 20 pounds fast?
It's funny because Ozempic and semaglutide is basically the same thing, but all of the advertisements I've seen at malls or around is always advertising semaglutide but never Ozempic. From where I've heard Ozempic is when they talk about it on the internet for Hollywood and the stars and all of that stuff, and how everyone's losing weight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And this is going to be controversial, but how a lot of celebrities look is kind of the trends that mainstream people try to look like. So there was a time in the 90s where everybody was super, super skinny, and that was the in thing. And then when it started to get into the 2000s, people were a little bit more curvy. That's when the Kardashians got their butt implants. Curvy was the big thing. Obesity started to become more of a problem. But now, since Hollywood has gotten into Ozempic, all of the celebrities, super skinny now.
Yeah, they look like freaking 2x4s.
Yeah, if you look at the Kardashians, they are really skinny now. And they were the first ones to really do the whole curvy thing.
Yeah.
So now I really feel like a lot of mainstream people are going to start trying to go for more of that thinner look. Which, low-key, this is where the controversial comes in, is actually kind of good, because a lot of people are so overweight and obese. As long as they are trying to lose weight, obviously the healthy way. I want to emphasize on the healthy part, because obviously using actually Ozempic is not healthy. A lot of people don't know what it actually does to the body. So this is kind of what I talked about in my Facebook Live, of when you take Ozempic, which is actually a shot you take once a week, it does 3 things to your body. One, it mimics a hormone in your body that tells you that you're full.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But then the second thing that it does is that it actually slows down your digestive tract. So when your body is digesting food, your small intestine actually moves like this.
Like this?
Sure.
I like this.
But with Ozempic, it slows down your digestion. So it's moving at a rate like this. It will sit there and it will now start to move like this. But because it's moving slower, one, you're not able to digest food as well. Mm. And then you're going to have a lot more of a risk of getting impactions in your stomach. You're not able to absorb as much nutrients. And you can actually go as far as literally paralyzing your stomach. Your stomach will not move anymore. And so when you eat, it's not moving through your system. It's just there.
I heard that also. Women that are taking it become infertile.
Really? That's new. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah, they're taking it. And that's like one of the side effects.
But see, when they're giving this to so many people and those side effects happen, like, what, a company's just going to go bankrupt and they're like, oh, sorry.
I mean, I feel like this is such a crazy topic to talk about, but it goes the same thing with like the COVID vaccine, where people will sit there and hear all these side effects. Oh, blood clots, or like all these like heart attacks. Like these healthy kids were getting heart attacks. You know, like all these things, and it's just kind of like this thing where people are like, oh, I'm just gonna look the other way, because I don't really care about all that stuff. I just want like to be skinny, you know, for Ozempic.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
or I just want to be healthy. I want to
just
live.
give me a shot. Just pop me in the arm so I can lose some weight, and I don't really care what happens after that.
But the crazy thing with the whole like COVID and people possibly dying from the shots, the crazy thing with that is there's so many factors that it would have to happen so many times for it to be clear that that shot is a direct correlation to those people dying. And the thing is, more than likely, it's not going to happen that often for them to be able to point it out. They're going to pull it off the market before they can actually pinpoint and be like, oh, that shot was killing people. Yeah. And they did, didn't they? They stopped doing some of the shots. And this can be the same thing with the Ozempic. Like, people are going to have a lot of issues. They're going to start figuring it out. They're going to either change their formula or they're going to pull it off. And then those people that are unfortunate to have that happen to them, it's just like, oh, too bad. It's not actually, they can't fix anything.
Two things. One, how long has Ozempic been around? Is it been something that people have been using since like in the 90s? I don't know like when it first came around.
I want to say it's been around for a while, but just recently it's became a lot more popular. Because a lot of these products...
2012. Sorry.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
That's a while.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these products, like, it
12
takes
years
time.
ago, which is crazy to think about.
It takes time to make them. It takes time to do test trials.
Yeah.
It's just that now it's gotten to the point where they've done enough test trials that they're trying to put it out to the mass public. Mm-hmm. Which another thing that Ozempic does, and this is actually why they first put it out, was because of the type 2 diabetes. So when you take Ozempic, it messes with your insulin levels. So type 2 diabetes means you don't produce insulin. So when you eat carbs or take in a lot of sugar, your blood level spikes. Mm-hmm. So then your body produces insulin, and that insulin is basically a messenger for your body saying, hey, we need to store all this sugar. So it brings your blood levels down just a little bit to where it should be.
Yeah.
So people with type 2 diabetes who don't produce that insulin, taking that shot is very beneficial because it helps them get their insulin levels back together.
Yeah.
But people who are taking it for just the purpose of weight loss, mm-hmm. who don't have any blood sugar issues, they are now going into hypoglycemia, which is basically bouts of really low blood sugar levels. Because your body is producing so much insulin, it's trying to store. Those squirrels are going crazy. And so it's messing up their bodies. Yeah. But they don't care because all they want to do is lose weight.
Yeah.
But the scary thing is any time that you are putting fake hormones or you're really taking any supplementation that your body should already be producing, mm-hmm. you're at a risk for your body to stop producing that hormone itself. So that's the same thing with people who do like bodybuilding shows and they try to take T2 or like thyroid medication. Or if they do like HGH, like human growth hormone. Yeah. Like they try to, like those things in your body are very good. Mm-hmm. Because it helps with your thyroid, which is your metabolism, and helps you build muscle with like the human growth hormone. Yeah. So people think, oh, I need more of it to get even better, to get bigger, to get leaner. So they start putting that fake stuff into their body. But really what's happening is that when they get off that medication, their body was so dependent on getting it from an external source, it stops making it itself. So when they get off the medication, they're just tanked. They don't have it at all. So now they're stuck taking that medication for the rest of their life because they just effed up their body.
Yeah.
And so now I'm wondering, I'm like, is this going to be the same thing with Ozempic? Your body is so used to getting this thing that helps you produce insulin, and once you get off, because let's say you theoretically lost the weight and you're fine, are you going to have blood sugar levels for the rest of your life? Like, problems with it?
Yeah. This is going to be a fun little topic. Vapes. Like little nicotine pens. And how people today, like, are, like, don't quote me, but I feel like one little pod thing that people are hitting, I forget, like, what it's, like, equivalent to of packs of cigarettes. It's something crazy. If they're sitting there just ripping it. I see people in our gym.
Oh,
sitting there, like,
God.
hitting their vapes, you know, and, like, they think they're just, like, nonchalant, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Speaking of that, I'm going to pause you for a second. I was on the lat pull down machine, and you know how the cable lat pull down.
Yeah.
And how it's connected to all the other cables.
And you can see straight across.
And I can see right beside me like the person that's using the actual cable.
Yeah.
They had their keys and a freaking vape with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all you need for the gym is your keys and your vape?
Yeah.
Like, you could even leave that in the car. You had to bring that with you.
I feel like if you're it's almost like being addicted to your phone.
Yeah.
Like, people just have to have it in their hand, and if they lose it, they will flip a house to find that vape.
It's a water bottle binky. Like, the people that get addicted to bringing their water bottle around, or their phone, it's the same thing. That's crazy.
Thing. They'll check their pocket for their phone, vape, wallet, keys, good to go. Like, it's scary because there's it's popcorn lung. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
That is, I feel like when our generation, like when people who are, people have been vaping. Some kids have been doing it since they were like freaking 15.
Oh, even younger.
Like because they just get them in high school from older generations or whatever. They think they're cool, and all of a sudden they pick up this horrible addiction, and they get their friends to start doing it. And you'll walk into bars, and it's just like every single person in there is just ripping on their vape, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like this is horrible. It's like it's a crate. Like it's like 1 out of 4 people will have a vape in their pocket.
Yeah.
And it's like they're constantly ripping the thing. It's just like, you don't know what the heck that's gonna do to you long term, because if you think that there's like chemicals in a cigarette, what the heck is making that flavor taste like pineapple? You know, or like whatever, and you're just throwing that right into your lungs. Like that's. I feel like long term, there's going to be something that people, like a whole generation is going to be like completely screwed from seeing they're ripping on these vape pens.
The funny thing is a lot of bodybuilders will go into vaping just because it is something to do besides eating. Like, it's a habit of doing it.
Oh.
So people who are like, they're low on food, they do that to kind of like convert their mind to not thinking about food or eating or whatever. But it's funny because it's like, well, you're so into like health and fitness, but you're vaping at the same time. It's like you're kind of doing the opposite. And I'm going to be totally honest. There's been times that I've tried to like get into vaping or like more it was like CBD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like probably one of the outliers that I literally just can't get addicted to it.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so stupid,
you just
but
cough like crazy. It's just like, it's like, what the heck?
I've tried, but I can't.
Yeah.
Should I tell the story about the Girl Scout cookie?
Yes.
So I just met you, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I was like 20.
This was 20 years old. This is when you were
Holy
living at the
shit,
apartment.
that was 6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
That's insane. Wow, I feel so old now. But this was when I was 20. And this is when CBD just started to get into a big thing. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to try that. Because mainly I was like, oh, it's going to help with my anxiety. But it wasn't around like it is now. I couldn't just walk into like a CBD store and get anything.
Yep.
And I'd probably be too afraid to do that anyway
Yep.
back then. So I was like, I'm just going to buy it from offline.
Which
And
is
so-
even better.
In my mind, it was easier for me.
Yeah.
And so I went online, I found this website, and I was like, oh, awesome, it comes with like all these different flavors. And I was thinking like, oh, you know, the typical like strawberry, pineapple, all that stuff. And
Pineapple Express.
yeah, and on their list, it was really weird flavors. Like Pineapple Express.
Gorilla
One was
Glue. What is
Gorilla
that?
Glue. And I was like, Gorilla Glue? What flavor is that? Who would want to have a CBD that tastes like tape? I'm like, that's weird, but like, okay. And then there was one that said Girl Scout cookie. And I was like, you know, that sounds good. Like a little Simona, you know, cookie. Maybe like a Thin Mint. It didn't say what
Maybe
type.
it's all that just mixed together in one.
Maybe they didn't say what type of Girl Scout cookie, but I was like, oh, that's a fun little surprise. I'm like, I'm going to get that flavor. So I got it, sent to me. And
I was with you right when you got it in the mail.
Yeah, I think I remember sending you a video.
No, I was with you, and we opened it up, and all of a sudden you're like, look, and I was like, that's a dab pen. Like, I was like, and all of a sudden you're like, no, like, it's flavored Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah, it just looked like a little cylinder, and it had just like a dark, just like oil in
And it's
it.
just your live resin, straight wax in there.
And then so I took it, and I took a hit, and I was like, I'm like, this is not a Girl Scout cookie!
And I was like, yeah, that is. I was like, that's a strain of weed right there. Girl Scout cookie.
And
Yep.
so somehow, I don't know how this website was legit or how it sold anything, but I got weed off the internet.
Yeah, that was so funny though, because at that time I was like,
I was
Yeah.
totally against weed and like getting
I was
high at the
opposite.
time.
I was opposite. That's like right when I got out of the army, I was partying. Like that was like my 20s, 21.
But then when you said, "Oh yeah, that's a strain of weed," I was like, "How do you know that?"
I don't know. It was just dictionary, Urban Dictionary.
It was legit though. Like it actually worked, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I think it was just like CBD though. It wasn't like THC. It was just CBD. Because I don't think you could legally buy THC online.
Oh, so it was like
You can
the
buy
CBD
CBD of.
derived from the THC plant. It just took that part out of it.
It all makes sense now. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't buy weed off the internet.
I mean, you bought it.
I just bought really crappy flavored CBD.
Exactly.
But I want to move into a new segment that we're going to have on the podcast. So I listened to the podcast Know Your Power with Julia Renee and Kendall Aaliyah. And they did this new thing called Am I the Asshole? So apparently this is a thread on Reddit. I don't really know much about Reddit, but apparently there's this thing where people will post their story or like the scenario that happened to them,
Yeah.
and they ask, am I the asshole? Like, am I in the wrong or was this person in the wrong?
Give me one
And
more
I
questions.
found ones that were like gym editions. Am I the asshole for embarrassing a girl at the gym? I am 16 male, and I was at a 24-hour fitness with a friend of mine. We were both maxing out on bench press. We were both doing well, hitting some nice PRs. I would say our celebrations were a bit loud, but we still tried to be courteous. Then, out of nowhere, after I just finished a rep and was celebrating with my buddy, a woman came up to us and complained for being loud. She chewed us out for a good minute on how she's put up with us for her entire workout. It was really only about 20 minutes. And we needed to be more respectful of those around us. And while she was talking, and she was gaining attention of a decent amount of people around the gym, after she was done, the grammar's kind of weird. After she was done, I said, "Shut up, I got bigger boobs than you." This is a guy talking to the female.
Okay, that's kind of.
Yeah, she was a little bit on the skinnier side, and I'd say I'm a bit more built. So it was true, but I was annoyed, so I'd hope that would shut her up. She proceeded to call me an a-hole and a few other things before walking away.
Okay.
Did I handle the situation? Am I the asshole?
All right. Do you want me to?
I'll
start?
let you start.
Okay, perfect. So, of course, 16-year-olds always want to do their 1 rep max.
That's their only
That's
workout.
like their only workout they know how to do.
What
They're
are you
sitting
doing?
there.
I'm maxing it.
I'm maxing out. It's just like, oh, sweet, what'd you do last week? I maxed out again last week.
I'm just like
Whoa.
always hitting PRs.
I feel like, yeah, it's like, what the, okay, whatever. Anyway, good for you guys.
No,
Those are the days.
I mean that's the thing. It be like poke fun, but it is really good that they're in the gym. I wish I was in the gym when I was 16. I love when I see younger people in there. Are they doing the best form? Are they usually a little obnoxious? Yes, but you know they.
I enjoy seeing like the high schooler guys that are in there that are doing it respectfully.
Yes.
And not in a whole crew wearing Crocs with their snapbacks on, like just like
laughing,
jumping around, like trying to do muscle ups. That when people are trying to do like a tricep extension, there's a bar right above.
So annoying.
And they're like, "Excuse me, I'm doing a muscle up," and you're like, "What?"
And their legs like
they're kicking around,
an inch from your face.
literally, and you're just like, "What the heck?" And also, and they like they're in there for like 10 minutes. And then there's like another group of girls, like high school, so they're all like mingling and walking around being annoying, and then they all like leave. Like they just take photos that they're there, flex in the mirror, and then leave. You're like, what? That was okay. Anyway, back on the topic of what you just asked. It's fine to cheer yourself on and be happy that you hit a PR because that's an amazing accomplishment. Good for you. Now the lady. I'm sure that she was just like, hey, you guys are being a little over the top. Just keep it to yourself. But when he brought in the whole boob thing.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Like, yeah, buddy, when you're a young male and you're going through your changes and stuff, you try to like exert this dominance or whatever, act like you're a big, strong man. And in reality, you just look like an asshole because you're sitting there basically like... What's the word?
Oh my god, I know what you're going at, and I want to say this quote, I'm probably going to butcher it.
Good.
That I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was Alex Hermosi, or some account that was similar to that said this, and it was so true. They said, when you are poor, you will put on a suit and try to look rich. Mm-hmm. When you are rich, you will try to put on casual clothes to look poor.
Blend in,
or like blend in basically. Yeah. If you are weak, you will try to wear tank tops to make yourself look stronger. If you are super strong, you will wear just like normal clothes to fit in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you were saying where like when you are younger and like you're going through those changes, you're trying to like prove that man. You are big, you are something, you will like overdo it. And I agree that is like they're trying to overdo it at that point.
Yeah. So, at that point when he basically said, I have bigger boobs than you, okay, one, never be disrespectful to a woman like that.
Even if she is being a cunt to you?
Yeah, like, just
cut it off.
At that point, and when you're young like that, you'll never understand the thing, just being the bigger man. Yeah. Like, that is the one thing. Just be the bigger man, just be like, I'm sorry, ma'am, we'll keep it down, thank you. Mm-hmm. Have a great day. And then you just go your separate way instead of sitting there just being like, well, I got bigger boobs than you. You know, then you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, you look like an asshole now. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, there's different ways to take it, you know. Never try and stir the pot. Just immediately just put it out and just be like, hey.
It is what it is.
Yeah, just be the bigger man. That's the best way to do it.
I'm very happy that Christopher Bumstead is becoming a very big name because he's obviously a very big influential person, but he's very quiet and he's not one of those people in the gym that sit there and freaking scream
shows off
and are crazy and are just like obnoxiously loud. Like he's a very quiet person. Yeah. And I think that is great because it's setting a good example for people. Yeah. Who's like those old bodybuilders that will sit there and just scream and yeah, buddy, and like all that stupid
well, there's Larry
shit.
Wheels.
He's still.
But he's the one.
He's like around, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
like
around.
He's younger.
Yeah, he's the guy that did the bodybuilding show. He weighed like 230, and then 2 days later he was back at like.
Okay, our camera overheated again.
Damn Florida.
You were talking about Larry Wheels and his rebound after his show.
Which, that man's a freaking beast. You know, massive guy. He just did a bodybuilding show, and he cut all the way down to, like, it was 232 pounds is what he was at on stage. And then for the next 48 hours, he ate. If you think about it, he went from 230 to 280 in 2 days. That means you have to at least eat 50 pounds of food in 48 hours.
So
right? Or
no, because your body physically couldn't absorb that many calories and store that much body fat. But what could happen is water retention, and I think that's what happened.
okay,
Because
he was swollen. He had to go to the hospital.
yeah, that's water retention.
He was like, look at my face. He's like, no
Yeah.
one told me about like that this would happen. My coach, like, he's like, I should have went through a proper reverse. No one told me about this.
That is BS. I don't care if you got the stupidest, shittiest coach. They know about reverse dieting. Like, that's just a blatantly excuse
Yeah.
where you don't want to accept that you fucked up yourself.
Yeah.
Because, especially with, like, guy bodybuilders, they do more, like, water depletion stuff before they step on stage.
To really dry out.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
bikini, it's not really necessary. So I'm assuming he probably went through, like, a lot of water depletion.
Yeah.
So then you can easily lose, like, 10 pounds by just dropping water
Yeah.
and being, like, absolutely dry.
Mm-hmm.
But still, if he gained, like, what'd you say, 50 pounds?
Yeah.
If you take 10 pounds of water off of that from just getting back to normal, that's still 40 other pounds of, like, extra water or, like,
Yeah.
food, body fat, whatever you're putting on.
Yeah.
And you said that was in how
48
many
hours. 48 hours. So I watched him on like his
Fuck.
Snapchat, and he was sitting there eating like they went out for dinner like right afterwards. He had like a couple different desserts. He had like all these like big main courses of just like he was just shoveling
How
for
can
the
you
next
not
couple days.
puke?
I don't know, but he literally ended up in the hospital. He's so swollen. But yeah, he's the type of person that will sit there and snap off the belt, go crazy. There's that. There's Jake Cutler. There's what's the buddy? That guy. Lightweight.
Is that the guy that's in a wheelchair now?
Yeah. What's his name?
Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman. I don't even know why I blanked because that's like one of the.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. So like, yeah. There's.
And see, that's the crazy thing because like what they do crazy fucking stuff. Like they
Yeah.
obviously lift super heavy. They
For years and years
know
and
what
years.
they're doing because like they're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
But you can still present yourself a lot differently.
Yeah.
I think just because you are loud and you scream, one, it doesn't make you lift any heavier,
Mhm.
and two, it doesn't make you look any better.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
feel
I agree.
There's
This person
the
was
other new
asshole.
name that's coming out right now is Sam Sulek, and he
Yeah.
is an animal. You know, he's freaking massive, but I think the way that he's presenting his diet, I mean, is wrong because he sits there and like, well, I'm sure that he's on like on a very very like. He eats a lot, you know, and if you're that big, like your stomach's a furnace, you know, like he's able to burn it because he's working out heavy and a lot, you know.
And taking a lot of steroids.
But exactly. But the thing is that when all these like high schoolers they sit there and see that, they're like, oh, he's drinking like a gallon of milk, which is fine, do it. I'm sure that'll help you out. And then he'll have like all these Krispy Kreme donuts, Wendy's. Get the 4 for $4, like all of this just junk. Yeah, it's still carbs and proteins and fats, but what's happening is like all these kids, they sit there and they're like, they'll work out hard for like 6 months or something, even if 6 months, and then they're immediately like, yo, bro, you trying to hop on some gear? Like, way too young. But the thing is that there's these influencers that are doing this. It's just like. It's like, let yourself go on a natural course for a long time, and then once you start truly plateauing, and if you have a good reason, that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
As long as you're doing, like, use it when you truly do need it.
And I think people, I mean, you could be an average person and working out for years and years and years,
Yeah.
but until you actually get a good coach, you don't know if you've been actually doing it right for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Like, even myself, I obviously am a coach. I took college courses, certifications, real life experience, everything.
Yeah.
But I will even admit, like, what I was doing in my beginning years wasn't optimal. Like, it was still good, but
Yeah.
it wasn't, like, an exact protocol that I would do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I've been weightlifting and working out for almost 8 years now, my first beginning years, I could have been doing things a lot more exact and a lot more beneficial.
Proficient.
So that's the thing with like normal people. You work out super hard for 2-3 years, and people are like, awesome, well I got a base, I'm plateauing, I need to get on stuff. It's like, okay, great you've been working out, great you've been consistent, but like, are you actually doing shit right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff to weed out with that, but one thing that you said about like the food quality, how he's just like eating a whole bunch of junk.
Yeah.
Which one, isn't he like super young, like he's in college or something?
Yeah, he's young. He's probably like our age.
No, he has to be younger.
No.
Right?
I believe he's only... He
isn't
might
he-
be like 22.
Isn't he in college?
Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's
it's
recording
recording.
now.
Anyway,
Never mind.
well, it doesn't matter.
He's
Assume
young.
He's super
20,
young.
let's say 22, 23.
But even if you're super young, like, obviously you're not going to have the best quality of food, because usually your money's a little bit lower. But right now, I'm sure he's making plenty.
Oh, yeah, he's probably doing
He's
great.
set up fine now. But the issue is, if he's sitting there and promoting eating all this junk to, like, younger people, that's not really good, because another quote that I saw on Instagram was the amount of calories you eat, so no matter where it comes from, the amount of calories you eat is going to determine your weight. So that doesn't necessarily mean how lean you are, it's just going to determine your weight.
Yeah.
Your macronutrients, so like your protein, carbs, and fats, are going to determine how you look. So how lean you are, if you have a lot of body fat, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then your micronutrients, so like your fruits, your vegetables, like all of that, vitamins and minerals, that is going to determine how you feel. So if you're eating a whole bunch of junk, even if it's the right amount of calories and it's the right macros, you're not getting those micronutrients, so you're going to feel like shit. And if you feel like shit, you're not going to perform in the gym as good. And plus, you got to think about how it's going to affect you when you're older, because that's going to come up with a lot of freaking gut issues.
And also, like, cholesterol levels, too.
That, too. I mean, that's the amount of sodium and shit and all that fast food.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, if you're eating like that, you know, just because you're like, yeah, I'm hitting my macros, well, guess what? What's the sodium you're intaking?
Yeah. I bet
Right?
there's even a lot of, like, I mean, definitely if you're eating fast food, like actual, like, hamburgers, chicken, all that, there's going to be a lot of sodium.
There's a lot of added shit, a
But
lot
I
of fats.
mean, even in, like, your donuts and all of that stuff, it's still not good for you. Like,
Yeah.
it's still going to mess up your digestive system.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see what his bathroom habits are like.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
God.
Yeah, no way.
But...
Do you have any more of those?
Oh, yeah, I do. Did you like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a really good one. So this is actually about filming in the gym. So I, female 27, have recently joined a gym after searching for a long time. I'm recovering from an eating disorder and severe body dysmorphia, so it took me a very long time to find a gym where I felt comfortable. This particular chain of gyms happens to have a no filming rule, but it is loosely enforced. I am very self-conscious and have not taken a photo of myself in years and feel particularly vulnerable when I'm working out. So to be extra cautious, I go at slow times of the day, and if someone is filming, I simply move out of the camera's view. Unfortunately today, I needed to use a certain machine, and halfway through my workout, I realized a girl next to me was filming, and the camera was pointed right at me. I waited until she was finished, and then asked if she wouldn't mind deleting the video because I didn't want to be in it. She told me, "Oh, but you look good," and showed me the footage, which I confirmed I was very clearly in, and you can even see my unflattering roll and sweat patch on me. When I told her I wasn't comfortable with it, she then showed me her fitness Instagram and explained that this was her income and her job. Her logic was, this was my work project, which takes a lot of time, and you're asking me to completely redo it just because you don't like the way you look. At this point, my anxiety was spiking, so I called over an employee who informed her that it was against policy to film. She deleted the video, and then I walked away, but I saw her being asked to leave completely. When I was later contacted by the manager of the location, who apologized for my bad experience, informed her that they terminated her membership. So she got this girl kicked out of the gym. Out of morbid curiosity, I went to her page and saw that she posted a story about someone getting her banned from X gyms and how she was forced to delete a ton of content. I feel bad now because I didn't intend for her to get kicked out or banned. I just didn't want to be in her content. So, I feel like this is one that I want to start by talking about.
Yeah, go for it, because you record in the gym.
I do.
Yeah.
I record, I would say a lot.
No, maybe twice a week you put up the tripod.
I mean, if that.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they're both in the wrong here. I feel like the girl who didn't want to be filmed should have approached the situation differently. One, if you know you are in frame and you are being filmed and you are uncomfortable with it, you don't sit there and wait for her to finish filming and then tell her and be like, hey, I want you to delete that. Because I understand how that's frustrating. If that person knew that I was going to go tell you to delete it, you should have stopped me even like mid-set or something like that. That would have been better until waiting till the very end and being like, hey, you need to delete that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that person was in the wrong. But at the same time, I feel like the female that was recording the content was also in the wrong too. Because one, whenever I film, I'm always aware of like people that are in frame with me. So I will try to make sure that it's not like directly pointing at anyone else. Blurred. And that's another thing. That's what I was going to say for a solution. Like if I was in that scenario and that person told me once I was completely done filming that, hey, I don't want this filmed anymore, I would have came up with the solution of like, hey, I understand you don't want to be filmed. When I edit and post this video, I will blur you out. Because there is apps where you can easily blur people out in the background. So that would have been an easy solution. Both of them would have been happy. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But another thing is there's times that you can be recording like yourself, but I can have the camera set up in a certain way where it might look like I'm recording you, who's right next to me, but you might not be in frame at all.
Yeah.
So if you were ever questioning if you were in frame and you were uncomfortable with it, just ask the other person. I feel like it was a little excessive that they kicked her out of the gym.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe there's more context there. Like, I feel like they would have to be fighting back and forth, or that girl was, like, really fighting to not delete the content, that they had to take it to that extreme.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
no warning, just straight, you're gone.
Exactly. I feel like if they were like, oh, yeah, I'll delete it, I feel like they wouldn't be like, yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
But what's your feedback on it? Because I feel like you're more kind of from a perspective of someone who's just not like in the background, but you're not usually
I'm the one that's always recording.
I know, but you have more of a perspective where like you're not always filming content of yourself. You're more than likely getting caught.
No,
or I force you into the videos.
Yeah, that's true. No, if someone like there's a couple people at our gym that record, and if I see that I'm in the background of something, I just know that they normally like they have the right to record. Like if it's a public gym, they have the right to record whatever they want. And if I'm in the background, one, I can sit there and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to completely ignore the camera.
Yeah.
And just move on with my workout and just be like, hey, if I'm in the background, I'm going to make sure that they get my right side and I look good for that camera. Or if I'm just feeling uncomfortable, I'm like, you know what? I don't like the way that I look. I'm just going to go ahead and step aside, maybe go get some water, do something while they finish that up, or find something else to do. But I don't think that it's to the point that you, one, need to go and tattle to like the management, you know, because that's like going to tattle to the teacher, you know, like be an adult, come up with a solution, and don't let it escalate to something crazy like getting someone kicked out of a gym. Because what if that's the only gym that's close to that girl's house?
Yeah. And
now she has to find a whole new gym. Maybe it's more expensive at this gym that's 20 minutes across town. Like, just come up with a solution, be adults, and move on. You know, I
feel like it would only be necessary to move up to that extent is like if you were telling me not to film and I was like, no, it's too bad. It is what it is. Like, suck it up.
If you are being an asshole to someone,
then you can go.
then yeah, if
Intel.
you're like, hey, this person's being extremely rude,
Yeah.
and they're like recording me in the background of a video, and I don't want it, and they're just saying like it's too bad. Like if they're being a hardhead,
And it kind of sounded like she was nonchalant doing that, because she was like, oh, it's my job, you look good. So I mean, I can see, but I feel like that person just needed to be a little bit more firm, like, hey, I really don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's always more to the story that's not told.
You have another one?
I do. I just hope that situation never happens to me, but...
It's probably going to be from me.
And another thing with that is, even if you did get caught in the background and you're doing something stupid or you look really, really bad, no one's going to know it's you. Like, this person's Instagram, her followers are probably none of your friends. No one that you know. So it's like, no one's even going to recognize you. And second, no one's going to care. Like, they're going to be watching the video for her. They're not going to be sitting at the background and like, oh, that person looks terrible, ha ha ha. They're just going to be like, oh, that's another person in the background going to the gym.
It's kind of like if you're watching a movie, you're not going to pay attention to the people or like in the background of the movie. You know, you're the main character. Or you're the center of the frame. Mm-hmm. No one really gives a shit about what's going on in the background.
Yeah, no one's gonna care. Okay, so we did that one. Okay, so this is kind of like a relationship gym one, so I'm interested in what you say to this. Am I the asshole for wanting to stick to my gym routine? My boyfriend came up to me today and said that it's a very lovely weather day. Maybe we should go out and have a drink, spend some time in the park. I said no because I've scheduled myself for a gym session today. My boyfriend got mad at me, so I tried to shift my plans. Go tomorrow morning, and then for a run in the afternoon so I wouldn't miss anything that week. He got even more mad. Said that I should go to the gym, and that I shouldn't change my plans, and that he would never suggest to go out and do anything anymore with me. To be honest, I'm mad too. During the whole summer, I skipped the gym so many times just because it was good weather for going out. Me trying to move the gym in the morning would backfire because if we're going out, we would sleep very late, so I wouldn't even have enough time to work out in the morning. And I'm not only talking about the weekend, but also during the week. Our relationship, I gained about 15 kilograms because I was drinking a lot, snacking, and going out. Looking at my BMI right now, I'm overweight and I want to do something about it.
Well, I mean, we've been in those situations before when it's like a beautiful day and I'm like, hey, it's an amazing day for going golfing, but I know that you wanted to work out.
Like during the week, yeah.
During the week, like we've gone through those experiences before, and for the guy to sit there and get mad and be like, well, I'm never gonna ask you to do anything again, and kind of like not invite you to do anything. One, that's your significant other, like you want to do stuff with them. Like Nicole's my best friend. Like we do literally everything together.
I love you so much.
And for him to say that's kind of like a little red flag, maybe.
Oh yeah, I think right off the bat that she needs to let go of this guy.
Literally,
like
so,
snip it.
But what Nicole and I do in these situations to compromise, like if I'm wanting to go golfing, for example, and she's like, hey, I have to work out today. And I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Like I will take it on myself to skip, and I'm not going to sit there and make you feel bad that you're not able to go on these things. Or sometimes I'll be like, okay, like instead, can we go this weekend? Or would you like to go golfing with me today on a Wednesday, and then we make up our workout Saturday morning? But yeah, like what do you think?
I agree with what you're saying. Is that I think they're more so in the situation where it sounds like the boyfriend doesn't work out at all, and she's wanting to get into working out. And I think this is where the hard part comes in the relationship, where you might need to sit down and ask yourself, like, is this relationship even going to work out? Healthy for you to and be the best you can be. Exactly, and where your priority is. Because if I was in that situation, and I wanted to work out, and you were the type of person where you're like, I don't work out, I would rather eat and drink and go out. Yeah. Like, if... Those two lives don't go together that well. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, if I personally wouldn't put up with it because I have different priorities. But if you are the type of person where you don't care that your significant other like doesn't go work out, then that's fine. But if he's like making you feel bad for trying to better yourself, that's where there's an issue. Yeah. Because I mean, if you are working out 5 times a week, 4 times a week, whatever it is, I don't know if she said a specific amount. Like there's always going to be time during the week to get it done. Like there shouldn't be an excuse. After work, before work, like you still have time to work out and go out and do stuff with your significant other. Yeah. So like even if he doesn't want to go to the gym with you, I think low key he feels insecure about himself. Yeah. And so he's almost not wanting you to go and work out to better yourself because he doesn't want you to feel better than him. Yes. And so he's almost kind of like trying to make you feel bad for doing it because he's not doing it. Yeah.
While he's sitting there like going through the phase of his life where he's getting more fat, more out of shape, and he's like, come on, like do this with me, like come down the rabbit hole of being unhealthy. While she's like, no, like I want to be healthy, and right now your choices that you're making is not lining up to what I want to do.
Yeah, and if you want to live a healthy life, like you could eat completely differently than your partner. You can do different things from your partner, but it is really tough. Yeah. So there has to be some type of like compromise. In between. Yeah. Because otherwise I feel like it's not just going to maybe work out.
If for the girl, if she wanted to, you know, like if she's like, okay, I really want to work out, I think if and still make the boyfriend happy, she could compromise with being like, okay, I will start waking up early to work out. So that you and I can spend more time together, but when we do go out, I don't want to drink, or I don't want to partake in those things, and I'll still eat healthy. But if I'm going to be sacrificing that time, that means that you need to be doing something else, you know?
Exactly. No, that's very true.
Like, if that means, like, I want you to, like, help out and do dishes, or do something, like if I'm going to sacrifice by waking up early to do something that I need you to sacrifice something also. Just so that it's more fair, because I don't want to sit here and make my life more difficult while you get your way of going out and drinking. Very smart. You know, I mean that's a way, you know. But at the same time, like morning workouts for the people that do it, you're fucking crazy. Like people who wake up at 4 a.m. to go work out, it's just like it's like good for you, but that's tough.
Low key, if I could work out at like 8, 9 o'clock and not have it affect my work schedule and you would be able to be with me, I would do it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm talking, okay, 8 o'clock. Yeah. For us, we're morning people. We wake up at 7 o'clock every day. 6:30, 7 o'clock is like when we wake up. I'm talking about the people who wake up 2 hours before we wake up at 4 a.m. and do that and then get to work by 7 a.m.
Yeah, that would suck.
That is what's crazy. Like, I can't do that. I'd rather get a full 8 hours of sleep so that I'm productive throughout my work day. Yeah. Get off of work, go straight to the gym, come home, make dinner.
I would almost be up, I'd rather be up like late during the night to work out than to do in the morning. Yeah. I just wouldn't like
Can't do that.
But yeah, no, I think there definitely needs to be some compromise. And I mean, it's even not really fair for her. Like if she does decide to go out with the boyfriend and just not drink, it's still really tough for her, because that's like literally telling an alcoholic, hey, come to the bar with me, you just don't have to drink. Like that's still tough.
Yeah, that is kind of,
or like hey, like you don't have to eat anything, but like come to this candy store with me. You're still like kind of teasing her, so it's tough. So I think finding a middle ground of like having activities where you're still going out and doing stuff, but it's still healthy for her. And that's like what we do. Like, we'll go disc golfing.
Pickleball.
Or pickleball.
Which we're doing after this, right?
Yes. Yesterday with like being at like the spot and doing all that stuff, it's great. I love it. But in my mind, I'm like, I have literally laid down like the entire day. Because like doing my eyelashes, I'm laying down.
Yeah.
Doing my facial, I'm laying down.
Yeah.
I'm in the car driving. I'm like, I need to do something. So I didn't work out yesterday either because I couldn't sweat.
Yeah.
So yes, I like to do pickleball.
Sweet. Ass beat.
Boy, don't get me started. I beat you the last 2 times.
You're welcome.
But anyway, finding activities like that is like a nice middle ground where you're still going out, you're having fun, you're doing something, but it's not based around drinking and eating and all of that stuff. So it's like a compromise. I think we're gonna have to cut it off here because this is gonna be a long episode with editing, especially with having 2 different cameras. Which sucks. I want to keep filming out here because this is such a beautiful view and it's so relaxing, but
it is blue
the
skies.
camera keeps freaking overheating, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys for watching.
And if you went all this way through this podcast, thank you so much. Because that's a long time to sit through, honestly. So if you did watch it all the way through, please leave a little comment at the bottom. Let us know if there's any of these encounters. You know?
Yeah, if you have an encounter where you're like, am I the asshole? Comment it down below.
Please.
Because I think that'd be really interesting.
I love talking about these. Like that is really, really fun.
Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and hopefully next week Jacob will join me again.
Yes, because I have a really, really fun thing I'm doing with Celsius tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we said that in the last episode.
Yes, that's tomorrow, by the way. I'm going deep sea, 40 miles offshore in the Gulf to catch some behemoths. This
time when you're going on the boat, I don't know if we said this in the last podcast, but it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, so we're doing margaritas and fresh ceviche on the boat.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun time for you this time with the deep sea fishing.
Yeah, after in a little bit after pickleball, I'll have to leave for our Airbnb.
Yeah, so we better get going.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Okay.
We'll see you next time. Make it a great day.
Listen to me as I slow